Okay, welcome back to our Blackboard training session. I hope that everyone had an enjoyable session last week, and I appreciate all of your comments that I received back from the survey that was taken. I will definitely use some of those comments as we go through our session today and our next session next week. So today, one of the things that we're going to focus on is how to add material to the site. We learned last week how to create the tabs, but this week I'd like to focus on actually adding documents, videos, PowerPoint, websites, and any other resources that we can think of to add to our Blackboard site. So let's get started. So last week, one of the things that we focused on was adding the tabs to the side of the Blackboard website. So I'm going to go ahead and add a new tab today. And again, we go to the plus sign, click where it says Create Content Area, and then you name it whatever you would like. Today we're actually going to add some material about ancient Rome. One of the things that I noticed from the surveys that we took last week was that different people would like to name their tabs different names. For example, some of you would like to have your own special tab for homework, whereas others would like to break it down by unit. Either way is perfectly acceptable, and you really want to look at how your class is set up and figure out which situation would work best for you. I, for my Blackboard site, like to split it up by units. Since I see my students every other day, it's kind of difficult to keep everyone on the same page. So I really like to set it up by unit so that they have everything organized within each unit. So the first thing that I'm going to do is click into the new tab that we created here at the bottom called Ancient Rome. If you notice, this tab is completely empty. We don't have anything to add to it. So what we have to do is we have to build content. So if you just hold your mouse over the Build Content tab, you're going to see a lot of different options. We have Create, New Page, and Mashup. For Create, you can create an item, a file, audio, images, video, URL, the list goes on and on. You can also create a folder, a blank page, a module page, or a tools area. For the Mashup, you have the option to insert YouTube videos, SlideShare presentations, Wimba, so on and so forth. The mashups is something that we can talk about later on in the session. I like to create different folders within my tabs, again, just to keep everything nice and organized for a 6th grade student. Now, if you have younger students, I might suggest not putting so many folders because you do have to continue to click, and there are lots of breadcrumbs that are left with these, but for a middle school student, I think it's perfectly acceptable. So we're going to click where it says Content Folder. As with everything, you have to give it a name. So I'm actually going to create 4 different folders within our Ancient Rome tab. The first one we're going to title Homework. If you'd like to give a description of the folder, you can do that right here. This folder contains homework. The nice thing with Blackboard is it does give you the option to change the font, the colors, make it look a little fancier than most other websites. There's also some options that you have. The first option is permit users to view this content. You always want to make sure that you have yes selected unless you don't want the content to be viewed. The next one is track number of viewers. This is a nice way to see that your students are actually using the website. So you can click yes, and then anytime a user clicks into the site, you'll see how often they do so. Select date and time restrictions. This is good if you're planning ahead and you don't want your students to see the next homework assignment. You can click and put display after and put a date and a time. And so the item will be hidden until that date and time appears. Once you have everything that you'd like, you just need to hit submit. and a new folder is created.